This morning, a wild brawl caught on camera. Dozens of students fighting in a Sydney street. Now police are investigating. A seventh person charged over the shocking murders of a Queensland man and woman. And comedian Tim Minchin launches a musical attack on Cardinal George Pell.
This is 7 News with Jodie Speers.
Good morning. A wild brawl involving around 50 Western Sydney school students is under police investigation. It happened yesterday in front of hundreds of stunned witnesses. Some of them managed to capture the chaos on camera. A 53-year-old man has been shot dead at a home in regional Victoria. When police arrived at the property in Landsborough last night, they had to negotiate with a 21-year-old man. After 3 hours, he surrendered and officers were able to access the home where they found the victim's body. The 21-year-old has been taken into custody and is assisting police with their inquiries. Queensland detectives investigating Logan's toolbox double murder have charged another man over the case. The 25-year-old was found by police yesterday afternoon, shortly after they released this photo. He's been charged with 2 counts of murder over the deaths of Corey Breton and Juliana Triscaro. The man is the 7th person to be arrested since the pair's bodies were found inside a toolbox in a Kingston dam last week. He will face court today. 3 people are in hospital after a serious crash on the Gold Coast overnight. Their car hit a tree and rolled down an embankment on Narang-Murwillumbah Road in Natural Bridge. 1 person managed to get out, but 2 were trapped inside the wreckage. Firefighters had to use cutting equipment to open up the vehicle and to free the pair. Together with the other passenger, they were taken to hospital. None of their injuries are considered to be life-threatening. 10 people are in hospital, including a 6-month-old baby, after a bus rolled on North Queensland's Whitsunday coast. A 19-year-old was killed and another passenger lost a limb before passers-by kicked in the windscreen and rescued the survivors. Look at what's on page 1 in the newspapers across the country. The Australian reports federal government ministers have been told to stop spending as Treasurer Scott Morrison and Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull prepare for a pre-election budget. The Courier Mail says police are examining internal camera footage to try to determine how a bus crashed in the Whitsundays, killing 1 person and injuring 10 others. The Daily Telegraph reports 1/3 of combat rations carried by Australian soldiers in the field now have to be halal. That's despite the Defence Force having less than 100 Muslim members. And the West Australian reports exam markers face difficulties marking last year's grade 12 papers because of widespread illegible handwriting. The paper says poor writing prevented some students from scoring top marks. Now for your first look at Wednesday's weather. Showers with a top of 30 for Brisbane, Sydney partly cloudy and 25 degrees, Canberra sunny and 26 degrees. Showers and a top of 20 for Melbourne, 19 degrees and showers in Hobart. Sunny with tops of 27 for Adelaide. Perth will be sunny and humid at 34 degrees and 34 with a possible storm for Darwin. Coming up on Sunrise at 5:30, the real impact of scaling negative gearing and an explanation of how it all works. But next on 7 Early News, the incredible new cancer treatment with exciting results. And the Eagles of Death Metal ready to perform in Paris 3 months since the Bataclan massacre. Welcome back. The Eagles of Death Metal will perform in Paris today, 3 months after their concert at the Bataclan Theatre was targeted in a wave of terror attacks. Survivors will be among those attending the sold-out concert at the French capital's Olympic Concert Hall.
There's just been such an outpouring of support for us and love for us. It's overwhelming. I just don't want to let anyone down, you know.
The Bataclan has been closed since the attacks across Paris that left 130 dead and 350 people wounded. 3 people have died and at least 9 are injured after a gas explosion at a residential building in Russia. An entire section of the 5-storey building in Yaroslavl came crashing down. Emergency crews are searching the debris for any more survivors. A criminal case has been opened to investigate the cause of the blast. A woman has been pulled from the debris of her home, destroyed when a tornado tore through Florida. Volunteers and emergency crews made a human chain to pull the unconscious woman free. At least 10 homes in the area were destroyed when a tornado and a severe storm struck yesterday. Now for your first finance this early news. The Dow Jones is trading up. The Nasdaq is also higher. In London, the FTSE added 38 points and Germany's DAX fell. Closer to home, Japan's Nikkei closed 32 points higher. Hong Kong's Hang Seng made gains. The All Ords are up and the ASX 200 added 67 points. On the commodities market, gold is trading at $1,213 an ounce. Oil is $29 a barrel. The Aussie dollar is buying 71 US cents, just under 81 Japanese yen and $1.07 New Zealand. A revolutionary new medical treatment is training the body's immune system to fight cancer. White blood cells are taken from patients with leukemia, modified in a lab and then reintroduced to target the cancer. More than 90% of terminally ill patients reportedly went into remission after trialling the therapy.
It's literally, a tiny infusion of just, 10 to 20 million cells in many patients. It's eliminating kilograms of tumour.
Although early results are unprecedented and exciting, concerns have been raised about potential side effects. Coming up on Sunrise at 5:30, the baby beekeepers stung by thieves. But next on 7 Early News, the Eels set to appoint a new captain and Socceroos champion Tim Cahill's shock exit from his cashed-up Chinese club side. The stories we're following on the early news, a wild brawl involving around 50 Western Sydney school students is under police investigation. Queensland detectives investigating Logan's toolbox double murder have charged another man over the case. And Australian comedian and musician Tim Minchin has targeted Cardinal George Pell in a new song. Taking a look at sports news now, Socceroos superstar Tim Cahill is on the lookout for a new club after a shock split with Chinese powerhouse Shanghai Shenhua. The 36-year-old says he agreed to terminate the contract he signed in November after being told he wasn't in the new manager's plans. An immediate move home to the A-League isn't an option due to the fact the Australian transfer window is closed. Cahill used Twitter to thank his fans for their messages of support. The Socceroos' all-time leading goal scorer says he'll know more about his future in the next 48 hours. Premiership captain Nick Maxwell and Alan Didak were among 5 people given life membership of Collingwood at last night's annual general meeting. Meanwhile, Carlton is set to unveil #1 draft pick Jacob Weitering in tomorrow night's NAB Challenge opener against Hawthorn.
Carlton's 7-man leadership group will once again be led by Mark Murphy.
It's a really proud moment for myself. Love this footy club.
But the veteran Blue won't play against Hawthorn in Thursday night's NAB Challenge opener. He's still recovering from shoulder surgery.
And whether or not I play the next game or the following one, it's sort of just going to be a week-to-week sort of thing.
And former Hawks assistant Brendan Bolton admits he's still a little anxious to be coaching against his old club.
I think a coach is never ready. They always want more time to train and rehearse, but it'll be great for us to be able to just assess ourselves against the best.
It'll be a baptism of fire for Carlton's youngsters. The Blues' top 3 draft picks have all been named to run out against the Hawks.
What better opportunity do you get to play against the reigning premiers of the past 3 years?
Western Bulldogs forward Jack Redpath went back to school in Ballarat as the Dogs aim to improve their grades again in 2016.
I'm not going to say that we're going to come out and win a premiership, but I think after what we did last year, which was pretty special for our group and a good stepping block, I think this year we'd like to go a little bit further.
And Sydney co-captain Jared McVeigh will ditch his boots for the whiteboard on Saturday. McVeigh will help coach the Swans against Port Adelaide and is looking forward to having Buddy Franklin back in the side.
He's a superstar player. He always plays well. It's rare that he has a bad game. I'm sure he wants to get out there and play.
Jade Robran, 7 News.
Star signing Kieran Foran will be confirmed as the new on-field captain of Parramatta today. The Kiwi international takes over from Tim Manor, who is expected to remain as club captain. Meanwhile, Robbie Farah insists he's enjoying life at West Tigers after repairing his fractured relationship with coach Jason Taylor.
Relationship's fine. It was always fine, even last year when I was going through all those, with all the things with myself. We're both professional, and we've moved on from that.
Young halves Luke Brooks and Mitchell Moses have delayed making calls on their long-term futures until June. New Zealand is set to serve up another green pitch in Saturday's second test in an attempt to unsettle Australia's batsmen. Black Caps coach Mike Hesson says the toss decided the series opener in Wellington. The Aussies deny they're still haunted by their Ashes humiliation at Trent Bridge, where they were bowled out for 60.
Learn from your previous mistakes, but you remember we lost half a side from that as well. So they've got no scars, so they're moving forward.
Injured paceman Peter Siddle is likely to make way for James Pattinson at Hagley Park in Christchurch. Next on 7 Early News, a closer look at how the weather's shaping up in your part of the country. Welcome back. Checking Wednesday's weather. A low pressure trough is triggering showers and storms over northern parts of WA and the Territory. Cooler weather is moving through Victoria and New South Wales in the wake of a front. Around the capital's showers and 30 for Brisbane, Sydney partly cloudy and 25 degrees, Canberra sunny and 26. Showers and 20 in Melbourne, showers also in Hobart. 27 degrees for Adelaide, humid and 34 for Perth and Darwin. Two brothers have quit video games to create incredible snow sculptures in the front of their American home. The wintry works of art have ranged from this giant octopus that took 500 hours to complete to a puffer fish, a sea turtle and a shark. Visitors leaving donations so far have raised more than $8,000 to provide drinking water to Haiti. And that is 7 Early News for this Wednesday. I'm Jodie Speers. Stand by now for Sunrise.